Here is the continuation of the series on the question randomness or design. When we look at DNA, we're not just looking at a molecule. We're looking at a language, an instruction set, a program that life follows. But is it the language of nature or the language of an author? DNA is built from four letters, A, T, G, and C. This isn't poetry or metaphor, it's the literal scientific notation. Each letter is a chemical symbol, but the meaning comes from their sequence. Just like the letters R, O, W, D may be random, but the sequence word carries information. DNA works in the same way. Order creates meaning. What's even more surprising is that DNA isn't just information, it's compressed information. 1 gram of DNA can store about 215 petabytes of data. That's more than the entire data storage of many global tech giants combined. It works without electricity, cooling, or maintenance, and it can remain stable for thousands or even millions of years. If humans created such a storage device, it would be considered a miracle of engineering. But DNA goes further. It doesn't just store data, it knows how to correct errors. Within every cell, there are mechanisms that scan, detect, and repair mistakes. If the error is too severe, the system can even trigger self-destruction to protect the organism. This isn't just code, it's code with error protection, similar to what we see in aviation systems, banking software, or cybersecurity. Another fascinating point is that functional sequences are incredibly rare. If you write a random string of letters, it will almost always be meaningless. DNA is the same, only a tiny fraction of possible sequences actually work. Only a minute part of all possible combinations can create proteins, regulate processes, support life, or enable replication. This is one of the main points raised by design proponents. Too many right choices had to align. But supporters of natural origins respond with their own arguments. Nature is not pure chaos. Some chemical reactions occur more easily than others. This means certain sequences form more frequently. Evolution can then refine and expand them over billions of years. And another argument, the genetic code is not perfect. And if the code is not perfect, they say, then it is likely natural, not engineered. That is an important point and deserves its own separate discussion. So, is DNA a code or not? Today, science sits in the middle. The structure of DNA looks like a code. The process of reading it looks like a computer program. The repair system looks like deliberate engineering. But explaining all of this by randomness alone is still difficult. There are too many layers of organization, and so the question remains open. And the deeper we go, the more obvious it becomes that we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. We've discussed only a small part of what makes DNA look like a code, and even that already raises more questions than answers. Why does the code work at all? Why is it universal? Why is the information so structured? And most importantly, where did it come from? If you want to see what lies beyond this, and if you'd like a continuation, let me know with a comment, a like, or any reaction. There are topics ahead that can reshape the way we think about the origin of life, from the first cells and groundbreaking lab experiments to the comparison of biological code with human-made software. And if you want it, we'll continue this series and go even deeper.